Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another one of our live webinar sessions. My name is Hamira Taylor, and I'm an admissions counselor and recruiter at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. And today we have Ms. Betty Hoskins-Knox, who will be representing the Career and Professional Development Center on the University of Maryland Eastern Shore campus. Ms. Betty is both a career and professional development specialist as well as a certified career development coach on campus. So thank you, Ms. Betty, for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad you're having me.
Thank you. So the program is going to cover a series of frequently asked questions that we receive from prospective students that will cover a lot of information about the services that we offer on our campus and the opportunities available. So for any students who are joining us, feel free to type in any questions in the chat box, and we will address those outstanding questions during the Q&A piece of the webinar. And then we'll wrap up with any final thoughts and let you know where to find additional information following the presentation. So before we kick it off, Ms. Betty, could you please describe your role at UMES?
It looks like I have several titles, but one is I'm a career specialist. I work in the Career and Professional Development Center, and one of the hats that I wear is to talk to students about employment, about internships, how to write a resume, how to interview, how to do a elevator pitch. So I tend to do a lot of talking and working with the students and the public.
Awesome. Now, are you able to describe the types of services that the Career and Professional Development Center offers to our students?
Yes. Yes, we offer assessments, and we offer resume writing, mock interview techniques. We offer Handshake. Handshake is a new platform profile system that we have for students. And you can be a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, grad student, staff, faculty, or alumni. And what we do is we connect our students through the Handshake profile. In fact, if you'll go and take a look at our website, if you'll scroll down on the left-hand side, it says Handshake registration. And that's for students to go in, and you will give your major and, excuse me, you will give your resume. After we have critiqued it, then you give all that information, and then you go in and you actually put in your major into their system. And then they will generate the information and send it out to government agencies, corporations, hospitals, clinics, grad schools, just about anything that's dealing with internship and the workforce. So when you get an email from the company, I'll just say the company for right now. So you get an email from the company, and it goes straight to the student's phone, because we're trying to do everything, social media these days. So it goes straight to their phone, or if you want it on your laptop, your iPad, or your smartphone, tablet, then you are to check with us, just to make sure that you're getting ready to do the right steps and everything. And students can do that by emailing us. They can come into the office. When we get back on campus, we'll still have the office, will still be open. So we have to make arrangements, social distance thing.
Yeah.
But students can still come into the office, and then we can walk you through the steps of applying and getting that job or internship. So if everything works out, then you go ahead and you upload your resume to the company, and then the company calls you for an interview. And then that's when you come back to us to do more mock interviews. Normally on an average semester, and it's just with one student, we tend to see that student about 5 times, because you want to have everything in hand, because at the last minute a company could call and say, okay, I can't come on campus and interview you, can you come to me? Or I want to do a phone interview. So we do all of that. We actually have students on the phone. You know, we do mock interviews. We play it out as much as we can. When it comes to the interview on the spot interview, for example, if we're having a virtual career fair, which we just had one last week, employers say, "Oh, I'm really impressed with this student." So they've asked that student, "Okay, I want to interview you now." So they go into a different chat room, and we prepared that student by doing an elevator pitch. And if you're on our website, on the right-hand side, we have a system that's called Career Spots. And you click on that, and that will print out the transcript just to keep studying and practicing. And that's right underneath the video on the right-hand side. And that you can do at home. If parents want to be involved in the interview process, or just in their student, son or daughter, looking for jobs or internships, they can go to our website and they can click on job search materials. And
Are you
then
able to
they can
share
click,
your screen so we can see the website
oh,
as you're
okay.
describing it? Thank you.
Um, Let me go back. Okay. Are you able to see the screen?
No. So after you hit the share screen at the bottom, you click the first box in the left corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So we are now on the Career and Professional Development Center webpage. So you could tell us a little bit about the different resources students can access on this page.
Okay. On the left-hand side, you'll see we have information about when the career internship fair will be for 2020. And that's not posted yet, but that'll be October 1st,
Okay.
2020. Um, Also, if you go down, we'll always have flyers. Um, that's the different programs, activities that we'll have, interview sessions, info sessions, information tables. And when recruiters just want to come and just talk to students about their company, and then they'll meet up with them at the career fair, which will be virtual. So we'll always have that up there for students to take a look at, and parents. We'll also have the handshake registration. Now that is where we will ask students to go and fill out the profile and submit a resume to us to write up, and then they will submit that in the handshake system for students only. There's one that employers do, and there's one that students do. And excuse me. And then the employers will send that information out to the different positions that they have available for students. And then students will come back to us to follow up with their resume to make sure that there's no typos or grammatical errors on it. And then we tell the students, okay, you're all set. So you go ahead and you'll submit the resume, and then the employers will contact you for interview. So,
So this
but
is like
before,
a step before going to the career fairs, whether it's virtual or in person.
that's correct.
Okay.
And then we have the job search materials. And if you click on that, you will see information at the center of the page. It'll say career guide materials. And we're going to tell you how to do a resume, an internship packet, interview techniques. So we'll ask students to take a look at that. And then you can also come into our office too, to go over it with us. So far, we've been doing it, for the ending part of the spring semester. We had to do it virtually. And that was pretty successful because we had a couple of career fairs and students were going on and to our website and getting the information. And then if you go over to the next column on the right-hand side, we always have students that click on, like, for example, I'll use internship.com. And then it'll ask you to put your resume in, or to ask for your major, what city and state, and then you can start your search that way. Then we also have another system set up. Same column, scroll down a little bit further, and it's called simplyhired.com. It's the last one. And you'll do the same thing. You'll put your major in, what city that you live in, or what city that you would like to work in, and then it'll pop up different information about different companies, hospitals, agencies, and excuse me. And then we have what we call our mock interview process. And that's where students come into the Career Center, or we've been doing it online, virtually, and we actually do an elevator pitch. And you have 2 minutes to do the pitch. And then we've been practicing with students that way. And then if you will scroll back out, there's another system that we use. It's in the right-hand corner, and it's called Career Spots. And Career Spots is an actual virtual, you're talking to the people, talking to you rather, and it's giving you tips on career readiness, how to do an elevator pitch. So you get information from us, the Career Center, Dr. Queen and myself, and then you'll also get information from our career spots. And at the end of every video is always a transcript. So students, can take notes and study the sample transcripts that they can print out on their own, or just read the transcripts. That's available also. And then, of course, students are always welcome to, come into the Career Center. We have walk-ins, and then we have some students that have appointments. When students say, I got a 5 o'clock class, then we do make arrangements, and we will stay after 5, and work with students, because we want students to get that great job opportunity or an internship.
Awesome, thank you. So a couple of questions. Could you tell us a little bit about why it's important that students get acquainted with your department and really spend time preparing? Because, when students come to college, a lot of times their mindset is on getting through the academic piece, but could you speak to the importance of planning for the next steps?
Yes. When we get students that come into our office, a lot of times they come in because, and I'll use this as an example, I want to do something in the music industry. And we always say, okay, well, you know what? We have a music education at University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. And here's some information that we've gotten from the different departments. And then they go, well, how much does that pay? If you do get a college degree in that. So then that's when we have our resource materials that we take through students through. And then that gives them an idea of, okay, I guess I want to continue with this, so yes, I'm going to go on over to that department and get more information. So it's very important for students to come into our office, because you're also in school to get a college degree. And of course, either going to get an advanced degree or to get a job, in your major. This is the dream that you've always been looking for, but it takes a college degree to make it come to life, as we always say. So when students get into our office, and we start sharing, this is what your major pays, this is how your major, what you'll be doing in the next 20 years. This major is getting ready to phase out. A lot of times students have started to ask us, what about the layoff process? Because as you know, due to the pandemic virus, coronavirus, a lot of people have been laid off. So students are starting to ask those questions, and we do receive information about unemployment, how this company is going out of business, or this company would like to have 5 people to work for them, but now I can only afford to pay for 1 person to work for us. So we do get that information, and that comes from companies, not just companies, governmental agencies, hospitals, clinics, you name it. Criminal justice is a big push right now. They're looking for, young people right out of college. As one recruiter said, it's just time for me to retire, and I've been doing this job, for 30 years, and they want someone that's younger, that can run faster, so we get a lot of information. So once students come into our office, normally we spend an hour just talking to the students about their major. Now, for the students that don't know what they want to major in, then we give them an assessment. And then we look at the ratings from the assessment. And then, we tell them, now take this to your advisor, because this is where some areas that you should research on your own. And we encourage students and share it with your parents. They should be a part of the process also. So once we get the assessment going, then that helps students to realize, okay, either I like this major or I don't like this major, or I saw it on TV because such and such said, hey, you should major in this. So we try to give as much information as we can. In fact, students have said, okay, you guys give too much information. You give it to us on our phone, because we have an actual app through the handshake where we can give out information on the phone to students, on their phone to students. So, and then when we do our elevator pitch, and we tell students, okay, you want to major in accounting? Okay, let's pretend that we are KPMG or Ernest & Young. And then I go, now come with me. And they go, Miss Knox, where are you going? All right, we're getting ready to go to the elevator. They go, the real elevator. Yes, we're getting ready to go to the elevator. And we actually do real live elevator pitch. I've asked faculty and staff to be a part of it, when they can. And I usually try to do it around, the university hour, so that faculty and staff can come over and get on the elevator with the student. And then I point to the person on the elevator and I said, okay, this is the person that's going to do the elevator pitch with you. You have 2 minutes. And then they know the first question that we practice with the elevator pitch is, tell me something about yourself. And when the students, I said, now the doors get ready to close. And then the students are like, and I look, I'm like, okay, here's your 2 minutes. If the door opens up and you're still talking, you are not successful with your elevator pitch. So when they go, oh my gosh, are you serious? Yes, you want to know about this job. It's time to get into that mode. So, and it's a lot of fun. And students have said, thank you. This really helps me. We also have on our package, when it comes to that career guide materials that I directed you to go to, it's one that's called the Career Fair Packet. And inside that packet is an actual script, because students have said, I don't know what to say when I go up to the table, or virtually, since we've been doing a couple of these virtually now. Okay, once that chat room opens up, what do I say? And then we go, here's the script right here. If you need to memorize it, but look it over. And the first thing we say on the script is, hello, my name is. So students are like, okay, good. I've actually had students that have come into the office and they actually have it on their phones where they've taken a picture of it on their phone, to keep practicing. So with that, that means that we're being successful with it.
That's awesome. And do you find typically that students who spend more time visiting the Career and Professional Development Center, or at least a few times during their academic career, that they have more success with finding employment after college rather than those who don't?
Yes, because once the first visit, students always come back. They always come back. It might be 1 or 2 weeks where we don't see them, but they'll come back in and they're like, okay, I know I said I was going to get the resume back to you, but here it is now. And can you take a look at it? And, if there's nobody before them, because we have to do first come, first serve, if they don't have and then students will go away, but they do tend to come in, and we've had students that have come into the office when recruiters have been in our office getting ready to interview students, and we've had recruiters that said, hey, what's your name? And students start talking to them right then and there, and then we look at them like, see, there's that elevator pitch we always talk about. So yes, when they come in on a regular basis, they are the ones that know about the different companies, know about the different services that we offer. And we do get a lot of seniors, especially, they'll bring in some of their friends who are juniors or sophomores. And they'll say, you need to get into the Career Center. This is how I got my internship, or this is how I got my job.
Awesome. And how early do you encourage students to start visiting the center or start to think about their employment opportunities after graduation? Should they start in their first year, or should they wait closer till it's time to graduate?
Their first year.
Okay.
Because some of the federal programs, they like working with the freshmen, to get them started thinking about, working with the federal government. So that's one of the reasons why we say as soon as you get settled, come right after class or right after lunch, then come to the Career Center. So yeah, freshmen on up. And
Awesome.
then the students that don't come to our career fairs or they don't come into the office, now we usually hear from those students after graduation. So that's why we still service alumni. At that point, we do the resume, we do a lot of over the phone, mock interviews. And then of course we invite them, if you can, we invite them to come to the career fair, since you didn't come to one while you were a student here. And believe it or not, we do get quite a few students that do come. And we're like, so why you do this when you were here? And they were like, because I didn't know any better. Some students just said, I just didn't know any better.
Yes. So it's important to start early.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now, when I was researching the center on campus, I didn't realize that we had a student career ambassador program. Could you tell me a little bit more about that and the types of roles and responsibilities students have in that program?
Yes, our career ambassadors, what they do is they help us with the mock interview process, like when we do our elevator pitch. There's some of the students that are on the elevator, they'll ask different questions, so they help that way. They help with our social media. They know how to put our stuff on Instagram. Like if we have a flyer where the federal government is coming and it's a certain federal agency, then they will post that for us, put it on Instagram, Twitter. So they do those kinds of things. And then we have what's called an informational table. And our career ambassadors will set up a table based on the flyers that employers will send to us seeking internships or employment. And then we will have them to go to different buildings on campus. And I'll use the example just before we left, for our teleworking. Lockheed Lockheed Martin was on campus. So they wanted to talk to engineering students and aviation students. So our career ambassadors will go over to, I'll call over and set up, can we come and have a table in your lobby area? We're doing recruitment for Lockheed Martin. So they will set that up, set a table up for us. And then our career ambassadors will go over and give out the information that Lockheed Martin sends us to the students. I also have a sign-in sheet if they're interested in interviewing with Lockheed Martin. Our career ambassadors will do that. And that seems to work better because I guess they're close to their age. You know, a lot of times, you know each other. You know, it's kind of a small campus.
Right.
Um, so that tends to work really well for our career ambassadors. And then they'll come back and tell us, okay, I was a little nervous, but that helped. And when Lockheed Martin, for example, when they come on campus, we'll actually have them to take them around on campus. I'm with them, but a lot of times I'll go on and go to like Dr. Jen's office, and she's the chair of the engineering department.
Mhm.
And then they'll like, okay, I'm to take this employer where? You're to take them to room 1035, so that gives them a chance to introduce themselves and talk to the recruiters themselves. So we like our career ambassadors, and we've had some good students that have volunteered to help us.
That's awesome. Well, I think that's all of my follow-up questions. Did you have any other final thoughts to share?
Students, please, when we do get back on campus, I'm not sure of the date. I've seen a couple of dates, but when we do get back on campus, I'll say in September, please stop into the office and please go to our website and share the website with your parents, because that internship.com site that I had you to go to, your parents can also go to our website. It's just umes.edu Career Center. This web page here will pop up, and then they can click on job search materials, and then they can click on internship.com, and they can put in their son or daughter's major and what city, and they can see what's available. Because a lot of times students will say, I need something before I go home, and then we get parents that, will call, and we can't give out that information, but we can certainly say, do you know your son or daughter's major? Yes, I do. Okay, go to internship.com, put that major in, and then they go, oh, okay. So that way the parents are involved also. So that's one thing I would encourage students to do. And it might be virtual, but you still need to be dressed professionally. And your background need to be, if you can, just a bare setting, if you can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Betty, for joining us on this webinar and sharing a lot of great information about the career and professional development services at UMES. I want to thank everyone who is tuned into this session or is watching this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please continue to keep up with our social media pages on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for our future upcoming webinar sessions. Thank you and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.